Not making it. A lot of them.
Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
How's everyone doing tonight?
Good.
You are in for a treat. I'm so excited for you to see it. It is going to be loud, so I hope your ears are in good condition. But I do have a few things to say. My name is Cindy. I work here at the museum. I'm the Director of Education. This tour program that we do is one of the things that I oversee. It's called Look, Listen, Move, and it's an arts integrated tour that brings together art, music, and dance. Look, listen, move, right? We typically do this tour for 4th grade students in Cabell County, but tonight we're offering a public performance of the tour, so you guys are all invited to see it, and we're really happy to have you here. This program started in the late 1970s with Janet Bromley, who was from the Huntington Symphony Orchestra, so it has changed a little bit. It used to be more orchestral music and ballet, and tonight you'll see a lot more modern dance, African dance, and a lot of drumming. Lots of drums. Great. We, of course, would like to thank Marshall University Professor Steve Hall and the JDG Migration Project for their participation in this program. This project is made possible by the Mid-Atlantic Arts Central Appalachia Living Traditions Program. They are our grant sponsors, and we are very happy to have them this year. HMA offers free general admission on Tuesdays. Tonight is our 4th Tuesday, of course. We do a different program every month, so come join us, except December. We're not doing it in December because I think that's Christmas Eve. But free Tuesdays at HMA are generously presented by the City of Huntington Mayor's Council for the Arts. This program is also presented with financial assistance from the West Virginia Department of Arts, Culture, and History and the National Endowment for the Arts with approval from the West Virginia Commission on the Arts. I did, yeah, I have to write it down. But so please enjoy the show. After the show, we'll have refreshments in the hallway. We invite you all to stay and join us. Thank you so much, and I hope you all have a happy Thanksgiving. Thank you so much.
and not our voices, but rhythm has everything to do with our movement. In music, it has everything to do with how the notes move through time, and in visual art, it has everything to do with how the lines and the shape move through space. So, as movers, you're gonna move with us. If you didn't know, surprise. So go ahead and take your voice, and we're just gonna imagine that you're gonna throw it away. You're gonna stand yourselves up. Stretch your arms to the sky, and we're gonna get warmed up in 10 counts. Go as fast as you can. Ready, set, and go. Shake it out. Awesome, hands up and then take. And we're going to show that again. So giving energy out to the space and then taking a little back with us. Great, so give and take. And give and take. Great work. If you listen to our drummer, Mr. Steve back there, it's basically like a rhythm game. So the faster that Steve goes, the faster we go. And if you want to get super fancy, you can add a foot in there. Toes up. Great job. All right, so you got the basic steps, and now it's fun. When that rhythm changes, you get to bust out your favorite dance move. So anything you got, your best stuff, we want to see it all. So wait for that rhythm to shift. And go. Yeah, we love it. This show is performed for every fourth grader in Cabell County. It is truly a gift to be a part of this. Steve and I were just talking, it's my 15th year to do this show, so it is absolutely incredible. So, this is the part where you get to be a part of the show. So here we go. Very good. Awesome. Can I have you two come out here with me? Very good. Good job. Do you want to come dance?
You go dance?
Yeah, come on.
You want to take Abby with you?
Do you want to come dance? All right, everyone else, you can have a seat. All right. So audience, you always, as if you didn't know, have a very important job at every show you go to. And it is to give your energy to every performer, everything that's happening on the stage. So can you welcome your new performers? So do you see all this space in front of you? You're just going to step forward, backward, side to side to give yourself a little bit of elbow room so that you don't hit your neighbor in the art or the drums. And that was rehearsal mode. Now is your big moment. It's what you've been waiting for your whole life. So you're going to take those hands to your hips. We're going to wait for that rhythm. You're going to go.
we'll point at you when it's your turn to chime in. All right?
This actual drum came from Mali, close by. And in West Africa, there are a lot of trees still. So that explains the presence of the wooden shell. It's a heavy piece of wood. It was cut down by hand, no chainsaws, not by hand. The wood is called kadi. It's a very dense wood, kind of like a rosewood. And when you're in West Africa, you're close to the Atlantic Ocean. There are lots of rivers as well. So you've got lots of boats, moving people, moving food, fuel. You've got to have rope. So that explains the nylon rope holding the head up. Yep. Now, the head on this djembe is goat skin, and it's very tight. I mean, really tight. I put heads on these drums. I know, this is very tight. But at the same time, even though it goes very high in pitch, it has a very low pitch. Can I hear you sing that low? Hey, that was pretty good. That was better than what I had. So to me, this drum is unique in that it has such a wide range of pitches. So this is kind of like my snare drum. And that low pitch is kind of like my bass drum that I play with my foot pedal. Yep. So that low pitch combined with the snare drum. So just use your imagination. Typically, I ask the fourth graders to play drums on the floor. Join me on your lap if you'd like to play along with me. So just use your imagination for a minute. Just think about this being a national drum set. Now, when you get back to school, there's going to be a quiz over all these new things. Spelling is important. All right. So the drum that Jess was playing, that big drum with the deep voice, is called June June. June June. It's like the heartbeat of the drumming groups in West Africa. So this drum, the June June, is like the foundation for the djembe. So it plays underneath the djembes. Yep. It's made of wood. We've talked about that. And two heads instead of just one. The head in this situation is cowhide, 99% positive. Nylon rope, we've talked about that. And it's kind of like the you've seen boys and girls in the marching bands playing these large bass drums upright, like this? So it's kind of like the ancestor of the bass drum from West Africa. Yep. When you play the junjun, you often get to play a cowbell too. I don't know about you, but I think we need more cowbell in life these days. Can I get an amen, please? Amen. So one of my, I did that to a fourth grade class, and everybody said amen. I was like, one time that's happened. So one of my favorite junjun parts comes later in the dance we did with you, Montaba. Montaba is the one, oh yeah, yeah, oh yeah, yeah, oh yeah, yeah. It's a complicated dance. It's very long, with a lot of different sections, different rhythms, different dance moves. So one of my favorite parts is when the dance gets to going even faster and more exciting. It goes like this. Are you awake now? I don't know about you kids, but as you get older, don't drink coffee, play drums early in the morning and wake everybody up. They like that. So the drum I was playing first, I think is pretty unique. I brought this back from Ghana, West Africa. It's called Kapong Longo. Can you try to say that? Kapong Longo. K-P-A-N-L-O-G-O, or Kapong Longo. Yeah, to me it looks like a conga drum. Everybody's seen conga drums. We play with our hands from Afro, Cuba, from Cuba primarily, Latin America. The wood in this drum is called Winnebois. If you spell it, it looks like Twinnabola. The T is silent, so Winnebois. It's very much like a cedar tree. We could walk out here and find a cedar tree in 5 minutes, easily. So the carvings all have meanings. It's always something good. It's always a parable about being a good person, helping folks when they need assistance. It's always something positive. And I think the drum is pretty unique because of the stakes that hold the head on. It just looks very odd. The first few times I played it, I found out you shouldn't hit your wrist on the stakes. I don't do that anymore, but it took a few times. I'm a little slow. Nylon rope, we talked about that. Good shell. The head on the Kapong Longo is antelope. It's antelope skin. Antelope, you can't stretch it like you can goat skin. So antelope is tends to be a lot lower, more in our speaking range compared to big difference. Yeah. So the dance we did with you is called Gotan. And when you play Gotan on the Longo, you have to give signals to the dancers and drummers. So I gave a signal, 6 notes. 6 notes that go by really quick. In real time. I'll do that slow so you can hear. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, start. It happens that fast. So they really have to have keen hearing. You've got to know the signals. I can be playing the coolest drum solo you ever heard. As soon as I go, the dancers go. It's time to go to work. So I sang a song. You want to know what that means? There's always one kid that says no. Well, I'm going to tell you anyway. It means our dancer's fantastic. Now, a student challenged me the other day on that. That's what it means. I'm not making this up. All this is for real. So I gave another signal. I gave my Michael Jackson just to help make sure the dancers caught it. Ooh. So while you were improvising, doing your floss and all of your running man, all your fancy moves, One day I said twerk by accident. One little boy said, no, we can't do that. I said, okay, that's fine. So then I gave another signal to stop the dance. But haven't we heard that signal? That's the start signal. So the start signal is also a stop signal. Two functions. That's the easiest dance I know. Some dances are very long and complicated. I was also playing a cowbell called Ganko Kui. You can try it. Ganko Kui. It's a double bell, and they think of instruments like family members. So the mother bell is the large one with the lowest voice. The baby is riding on her back with the highest voice. So check it out. So the Gangda Kui. Hey, do you like the xylophone? Yes. Typically, I'm playing that while the students are walking into the room. So this is called Gil. G-Y-I-L, Gil. It comes from Ghana, and it's played by the Lobi people. The wood is made from the same type of wood as the Kapong Longo, Winnabois. Nylon rope holding the bars together. And the frame on this is extremely well made, I have to point out. I have not found any nails or screws or staples or glue. I've had this 26 years now. It's very well made. What's holding it together is sinew. Rope made from animal hide. If you look at the leg, it's kind of fuzzy. It kind of looks like a bridge, don't you think? Mm-hmm. Basic shape. So, there are a lot of xylophones on the continent of Africa. Many. This one is unique because of those white patches. You would never guess in a bazillion years, I know some of you know it or smiling, but you don't know. Spider's nests have been glued to those orange things. I skipped a step. What are those orange things hanging there? I'm not used to doing this when I'm awake. I'm used to doing this at 8:30 in the morning. What are those orange things? Gourds. Gourds. Great. I hear squash. I hear coconuts. I hear eggplant. I've heard everything under the sun. Gourds. Why would you put gourds under a musical instrument? Sorry? The bar is resonating, but it adds to the resonance. Yeah, it's kind of like a natural amplifier. And it's a lot cheaper than plugging it into the wall. Yeah. Now those white patches that look like eyes, those are spiders' nests. Really. There's always a girl that jumps back about 2 feet when I say this. I think I chased the spiders off a long time ago. Have you ever had a kazoo? Maybe you went to Camden Park or a fall festival and you won a game and you want a musical instrument, doo-doo-doo-doo, and you sing into it, right? There's paper or plastic in there that vibrates with your voice. Yeah? That's what the spider's nest does. Check it out. Sound, the after sound? It's like adding spices to your food. Hey, baked potatoes, you gotta have butter, you gotta have salt, some black pepper, some good, or maybe some, if you're feeling frisky that day, maybe some red pepper, maybe some cayenne. So it's like adding spices to your food, just to make the sound of the instrument just a little bit more interesting. Fascinating. Do you know what the word penta means? No, pentagon. So 5 notes per octave instead of the 11 that are on the piano. Here's what I mean. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The next note is like 1. It's like C to the next C. And for some odd reason, there are only 4 notes in the 3rd octave. So I've almost got 3 octaves worth of notes. The Gil.
Hello everyone, we're on to our second section, which has everything to do with choreography
and visual arts. So, in speaking to our dancers every season, we are blessed to be in the Huntington Museum of Art space, which means that we get a different task every year because our exhibit changes. So with this year's piece for our second section, we were able to come into the museum, into this space, because this is the one that we perform in every Tuesday and Thursday, and we were able to take inspiration from the walls around you. So this piece every year changes in choreography. So as you are watching the dancers, I want you to go ahead and give yourself the task silently to look around the space and see if you also can pinpoint or maybe identify what shapes, what movement phrases might have been taken from the art around you. And then afterwards, after you see the choreography, which in dancer terms is just a way to denote the phrasing of movement that we will then repeat over and over in a performable phrase. And then we'll talk about it after the end of the piece and see if you got any of them right. So pop quiz at the end. All right, enjoy piece 2.
Water? Okay. Yeah, and so what drinks water?
Animals?
Animals? And was there any animals you saw in any of our photos? Yes?
No.
The fox?
Yes.
Yes, absolutely.
The fox.
Nourishing themselves, yes. What else did you notice? Yeah.
Growth?
Yes, there was lots of growth in many different ways. Did you have one? No. Yeah, absolutely. We were always kind of moving a bit. Was there any photos or pictures of the plants that you witnessed in our movement?
I always think it's really interesting. Do you guys want to stand by your photos that you worked from?
Yes.
The art that you worked from? It might be hard to get to some of them. Just so you can see. So each dancer did a, Laura, do you want to point to yours? Yep. There you go. So each dancer did a study specifically of these prints and then created movement scoring around those. And then we developed the phrasing of the material. So that's sort of how we developed the movement of that piece and then came together to create the movement score. So yeah, so thank you all for being part of that.
We're gonna bring it back to Appalachia now. So we got this fancy instrument here. Have you all ever seen it before? It's a bucket. And we're gonna invite our dancer Ella out here. Does anybody know what Ella has on her feet? Just shout it out. Tap shoes, absolutely. And did you know that American tap dance started right here in Appalachia? Yeah. It came over here from two very influential cultures all the way across the world. Do we know what those cultures are? What is it? Not the Scots. Very close. Irish, yes. A lot of you said this, so I'm not sure who, but absolutely. And then what's our other culture? We learned about it a little bit today. Africa, absolutely, absolutely. Our ancestors, they migrated here from Ireland and West Africa, and they brought with them their cultures of song and dance. In early Appalachia, they didn't have these fancy tap shoes and instruments, and often they couldn't even actually practice music, so we got creative. We put medals on our feet. We danced on boards, pans, pots. We used washboards even, and spoons. Did you know spoons were an instrument, friends? Yes. Absolutely. You should try it out. time. Yeah? So, just like language and the rhythm of words, we share kind of conversations through the rhythm of song and dance, and we're going to witness these conversations today between Ella and Spoon and Steve. Are you ready?
I was born ready.
Are you all ready? Absolutely.
Well, they're kind of cold. Okay. Are you ready?
Yes.
All right, sure.
heartbeat. Can you guys just join with us? Bring your hand right to your heart. Let's just find it all together for a second. Awesome. And if you could, just take a minute. You can leave your eyes open or closed, but I'm going to close mine for a second. Let's just collectively take a giant inhale and exhale together. So inhale in, and just exhale. Amazing. And just take a minute and listen to your own heart. Just connect with that rhythm for a second. And just honor your own unique rhythm for yourself. And just take a minute and honor each other's, the person beside you, the person in front of you, behind you. And just be thankful, grateful for that, especially tonight as we enter that season that we're about to be in, that we are in. There you go. And thank you for being a great audience tonight. We couldn't be happier to be here to share our show with you, and thank you for being here with us. So thank you, thank you, thank you.
I told you you'd love it, right? It has been such an honor and a pleasure working with these folks for the 15 years that we have. I'm just amazed that it's been quite that long.
Yeah.
But we've just enjoyed every minute of it, and we're so thankful every day for you guys to be here. So I'd like to introduce our performers to you. Our dancers are from the JDG Migration Project. We have Ella, Zumi, Jessica, Laura, and Melissa. We have a full cast tonight of dancers. And of course, in the corner there, Mr. Spoonman Steve on all the You truly have been a wonderful audience. It's been a pleasure being able to bring this to you guys this evening. I'm just so thankful and thankful to our grantor for letting this happen. So thank you guys so much. Do you have any questions while we're here? Anybody? This is a rare opportunity. You get to ask them questions. Or not.
I have a question.
Yes,
From the beginning. Before the nylon and the boats and all that, what did they use to tighten these? And did they use different materials for different skins?
Sinew could be a possibility, but it's hard to imagine something that would, even a vine twisted together, anything that could come close. Hemp would be probably my guess. I don't know that there's a lot of research in that area. I mean, it's so far back, it's tough for us to, all those materials are disintegrated now, so it's hard to know for certain. But I mean, some of the ropes and vines that they're able to twist naturally do have a great deal of strength, I've heard. Yeah, good question.
So from a dance perspective, when you guys are looking at a static image, you know, apparently two-dimensional, how do you translate to that, you know, static image to something in motion? You know, what goes through your guys' mind when you're looking at something, how to play that out in a different art form?
Yeah, that's a great question. I'll take it first, then I'll throw it to one of the dancers. But anytime I have a sort of like choreographic assignment to look at something 2D and then take it into a movement modality, I'm sort of always looking at, like, I'll take this one, for example, so we can really like think about that. I'll take this and look at sort of like how something is shaped and moving. And then in talking with the movers, I'll give something like, can we do a quick demo real quick? So spread out real quick. And then I'll give the dancers something like, this is bending over. Can you guys give me something that is bending from the hip? And then go, and bending from the hip. And then I'll look at that and say like, oh, okay, that's so many different things. And then I'll take that, and then now can you do it with breath? And can you exhale and move into a bend? And then see how that changes it into slowing it down or playing with timing. And then this one is stoking up, and it has sort of like prickly things at the end. And so I'll take that into like, can we go into a high space, and can we use our fingers into a dynamic shift into the high space there, and emulate this guy over here. I don't know why I gave him a gender, but that is happening for me. And then I'll play with that. And so like, can we play with a high space up and ready, set, go, and play up high, prickly out with fingers. And then we'll play with that movement there. And then I'll maybe play with like putting them together. So bending at the hip, go 1, and playing prickly up, go 2. And then we'll just play. And really in my brain, choreographically, and for those of you that maybe don't know, some of you I know very well and have seen me work for 15 years here. And some of you I just met tonight, which is awesome. But for me, you know, I have studied and do study and do choreography. This is what I do. So, you know, having done this for 20-some years, it is what I do. I look at movement, I analyze movement, and then I look at things, and that is how I see the world. And so, you know, it's really interesting to always look at something and then apply it to movement, and then look at the body and see how the body is going to adapt that movement. So that was a long-winded answer to say that like it's a lot of fun, and it's really like just using my imagination and like playing around with how those things align up into.
I think it's just fascinating to go from something inherently static to something in motion.
100%. Yeah. It's so much fun to do. And Cindy and I were talking over on the side. It's like always my favorite part of the show, to see how that second piece is always going to come out with the dancers. And of course every cast is always different. The energy that you have with the dancers to work with. So yeah, 100%. And I rely on the dancers a lot, you know, for that work, because that's just how I work. But they're
their mindset, their sort of ideas around that is always really important to me. So, yeah.
I have a question for Steve. How does humidity affect some of these instruments?
Horribly.
Yes.
When it's cranked up that tight, not much, but other instruments, yes, humidity can be a problem. But when you think about where they come from
Right,
naturally, it's part of the ball of wax.
Do you have to tighten it tight, or?
I have a hair dryer that I don't use for my hair. I keep it near the drums so that if it's a humid day, if it's been raining a lot, we can just get out the hair dryer and heat things. The heating pad works too. Fires make me nervous.
Yeah.
To replace a head.
Yeah. Yeah.
I saw a fusion of a lot of styles. Do you individually have favorite forms that you always try to work in, or do you just go with what works best for the project?
That is also a great question. I think we all have different training. And so I think depending on the project and choreographically what is being asked, that will depend upon what we do. But yeah, both. We do both. We rely on our background and our history, our knowledge of what lives in our body, and then we also will sort of execute what is being asked of the work that we need to perform. So both things are true. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Great question.
Anybody else? No? Guys, thank you again so much.
Yeah, thank you.